I contemplated doing this review in VUV, but I don't quite have the accent down yet. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. As part of my coverage of the 2023 Sundance Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2023 sci-fi comedy drama Landscape with Invisible Hand, which will be released in theaters on August 18th. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Landscape with Invisible Hand stars Asante, Blackk, Kylie Rogers, and Tiffany Haddish, and was directed by Cory Finley. Based on M.T. Anderson's 2017 novel of the same name, it tells the story of two teens who decide to embark on a unique business venture in the midst of an ongoing alien occupation. If there's one thing science fiction has given us a lot of, it's alien movies. Extraterrestrials have been on the big screen since the turn of the 20th century, but the alien subgenre really took off during the 1950s, and has remained a genre staple since. There have been hundreds of different types of stories, ranging from interplanetary wars to a solitary lost alien trying to find his way home, but the vast majority of alien movies involve some sort of invasion, or at least something perceived as an invasion by humans. For every benign alien like E.T., there have been 24 malevolent aliens bent on the destruction of the human species. So when we're presented with a new film about an alien invasion, it's easy to jump to certain conclusions and come into it with a set of preconceived notions. But Landscape with Invisible Hand is not your typical alien invasion story. This isn't a movie that showcases the destruction of iconic landmarks or focuses on high-tech battles between humans and alien forces. Instead, it highlights the economic impact of a reasonably benevolent planetary takeover, putting a spotlight on some of the things that make us uniquely human. This is an extremely ambitious film. When I added it to my watch list at Sundance, I figured it was going to be a relatively small-scale sci-fi dark comedy. Cory Finley's previous films had set certain expectations in my mind for what this movie would be, but it was much more involved than I ever would have guessed. On one hand, this was a positive thing. There are a lot of things going on in this movie, so there's always something new and unexpected to focus on. Although the story itself is lacking in certain regards, the world building is extremely rich. I suspect many of the details were drawn directly from the novel, but the post-invasion society, the bizarre intricacies of the VUV culture and their fascination with human behavior, even the design of the VUV themselves, it's all strangely enveloping, really pulling you into the futuristic scenario. Beyond the intriguing nature of its world building, Landscape with Invisible Hand also sucks you in with some thought-provoking themes and concepts. Again, this is a very ambitious film, and certainly attempts to tackle a few too many ideas at once, so nothing is ever fully explored, but the various kernels of ideas are largely worthwhile. By framing everything through the lens of an alien occupation, and the VUV's befuddled fascination with human culture and behavior, this film has ample opportunity to satirize all manner of modern-day real-world ideas. Livestream culture and the oversharing, inauthentic, persona-for-profit mentality of many online creators takes a good deal of the satirical onslaught, but capitalism, class inequity, traditional family roles, artistic exploitation, propaganda, and censorship don't get away unscathed either. Thematically, the film does spread itself a bit thin, but the ideas it touches upon are interesting nonetheless. As I've noted throughout this review, Landscape with Invisible Hand suffers from having too many ideas. I suppose it's better than not having any ideas at all, but it gives the film a very random and scattershot feel. This does introduce a good deal of unpredictability to the plot, which might be a positive for some viewers, but it comes across as more unfocused than it does intentionally twisty or unpredictable. Things start off promisingly, largely thanks to the enticing world building, but as the sudden plot turns begin to add up, the pacing becomes more and more irregular, eventually leading to a very long, drawn-out feeling third act. The writing isn't up to past Cory Finley standards, and the tonal blend isn't quite as cohesive and consistent as I would have liked for a romantic, dark comedy, sci-fi drama with satirical social commentary underpinnings, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't keep me entertained with its weird mix of ideas and bizarre visuals. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one is the world building. I haven't read the novel that this film is based on, so I can't speak to whether the cinematic version of the story introduced many of the ideas, or if they were already present in the source material, but the intricate crafting of this futuristic society is easily the most impressive thing about this movie. Everything from the post-invasion, not quite post-apocalyptic human society, to the utopic aerial Vov community, to the creature design and behavior. It's a strangely intriguing sci-fi world that's bizarre enough to feel fictional, while retaining somewhat grounded qualities to tether it to our modern-day world. The second pro has got to be the themes. This film tackles a lot of ideas and themes, so it does paint with an exceptionally broad brush, but the points it makes still remain thought-provoking. It touches on big, sweeping ideas like capitalism, propaganda, and censorship, but also delves into slightly more specific concepts like online personas and artistic integrity. The bizarre, meandering story at the heart of this film is largely a vehicle for delivering commentary on the plethora of themes, which is fine. I just wish it had focused on a handful of them, rather than broadly touching upon the whole lot. On the con side, the biggest issue is how unfocused the story is. Really, you could classify this issue as many things. Unfocused, random, unpredictable. The point is, it's all these things in a messy, negative way, and not a creative, positive one. This film starts off strongly with some good world building and an interesting plot setup, but it quickly moves beyond the story promised by the logline and trailer into a series of increasingly more random and chaotic plot beats. The story remains interesting, to an extent, but becomes a case of random curiosity rather than genuine story interest the longer it progresses. The second con is a bit of an offshoot or consequence of the first con, and is the pacing. Because of how unfocused and random the story is, it's very difficult for the film to maintain any sort of consistency with its pacing. As with the story, the pacing starts off fine, but devolves over the course of the film, eventually disintegrating during the dull, dragging third act. Landscape with Invisible Hand is one of the longest 90-minute movies I've watched in quite some time. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Landscape with Invisible Hand, or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you use them, if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give Landscape with Invisible Hand 3.5 out of 5 paws. It's a strange but thought-provoking sci-fi comedy boasting excellent world building, oddly amusing visuals, and a unique blend of dark silliness and societal deconstruction. I would recommend Landscape with Invisible Hand to anybody interested in a quirky little sci-fi tale full of social commentary. It's not as sharply written or executed as Cory Finley's past films, but it's still a thought-provoking and very strange movie that'll likely maintain your attention throughout, if only because of how unpredictable and weird it is. If you liked Landscape with Invisible Hand, I would recommend Can of Worms. One of the earliest Disney Channel original movies, this is another very strange teen-centric alien film. It focuses on a teen outcast who accidentally sends an intergalactic distress call, which opens up the planet to reclassification and study by all manner of bizarre and memorably designed alien species. If you liked the randomness and abundance of themes, you might want to watch The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Another alien sci-fi tale based on a book, it tells the story of humanity's lone survivor who embarks on a galaxy-wide adventure with his alien friend following the destruction of Earth. And if you'd like another film written and directed by Cory Finley, you should check out Thoroughbreds. No aliens in this one, but it is a darkly funny and tightly written story about two teens hatching a plan that doesn't quite go as expected. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Landscape with Invisible Hand? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what movie features your favorite alien design? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you get some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.